Aloha and welcome to Action Island. We are back for Monday Night Football between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Rams. And I'm joined with my two favorite Islanders. As usual, we have Dr. Nick Giffen and, of course, the odds maker himself, Sean Koerner. The three of us, we're going to give our two best bets for tonight's showdown between the Dolphins and Rams. Here's how it works. Give two favorite picks for tonight's games. Then we're going to vote on those picks. By the end of the show, we're going to have a nice tropical three-leg same game parlay for you. But first, before we do that, first up though, if you want access to all of Action's Pro projections, make sure to sign up for our annual subscription that is currently on sale. Access includes exclusive player prop picks from Sean Koerner and other members of the Action Analytics team. You'll get access to exclusive expert articles, our best spread, money line, and total bets, and real ticket and money percentages. To sign up, visit actionnetwork.com/pro today and use code ISLAND20 at sign up. Once again, that code is ISLAND20, ISLAND20. One more time, ISLAND20 for $20 off. All right, let's get into the picks. Nick, you've got two bets for us for this game. What are you going to do today?
Yeah, so neither of these are my official pick. I haven't made an official pick yet, simply because we're still waiting on some player news, namely Tyreek Hill would be an important piece there. But based off what we do know, I do have a couple bets I like for this parlay. And the first one is going to be Tua Tagovailoa to throw an interception. So over half an interception. Tua has 3 interceptions this year, and crazy enough, all 3 picks have come against cover 3 defense. And the Rams, they play cover 3 at the 5th highest rate in the NFL. They play it nearly double the amount of time that Tua has faced it this year. Tua's faced it 22% of the time, and the Rams play it at 41% of their coverage snaps. So, definitely a coverage that Tua has struggled with so far this year. Also, Tua has not been under a lot of pressure. In fact, the 4 games that he started this year, those opponents are all bottom 8 in season-long pressure rate. By far, Tua is the quarterback that has faced the least pressure in terms of qualified quarterbacks, in terms of a percentage number. He's in like around 18.5% pressure rate faced. The next lowest qualified is Baker Mayfield at 8% higher, at 26.5% faced. So that's definitely going to come up against the number 1 team in pressure rate, the number 1 defense in pressure rate, the Los Angeles Rams. Yes, after yesterday's games, they have updated to number 1 in season-long pressure rate. Tua's turnover-worthy play rate, of course, goes up against pressure, as almost every quarterback does. But in his case, it goes up quite a lot. 7.7% turnover-worthy play rate so far this year when facing pressure, and 4% last year when facing pressure, both above league averages. So that's my first pick. My second pick, I am going to go to the player in question here, Tyreek Hill, and I'm going to go with under 5.5 receptions. Now, I'm specifically going receptions here because I do like him to get some yards if he does play. But of course, he is questionable with that wrist injury. So if he does play, maybe he's limited, which certainly would hurt his potential volume here. And also, in the games he has played with Tua starting at quarterback this year, he's averaging 5 receptions on 8 targets per game. 3 of those have been losses. That means, Miami's been thrown in those games, 35.5 pass attempts per game in those 4 games. And Tua's line is 32.5 passing attempts. So likely lower pass volume anyway. The Rams, I talked about how much pressure they force. That forces deeper throws, which forces lower completion percentage. And also when the Rams get pressure, Tua checks down a lot. He goes from a 9% check down rate with no pressure to a 20% check down rate under pressure. So maybe some more Devon Achane dump offs and things like that. Also, the Rams play single high safety at the 5th highest rate in the NFL. Again, Tua checking down more for single high safety, especially when that's given as a pre-snap look. He goes much higher in terms of check down rate. So just a spot where, it could be spread around a little bit more. And yes, Tyreek Hill's targets per route run does go up against single high coverage, but a lot of that comes from the man side of things, cover 1, whereas cover 3, it doesn't really change much. So I still like Tyreek to get his yards. They're just going to come on longer, deeper shots, and that's how you get yards, but also lower your reception count.
All right, so you've got Tyreek under 5.5 receptions, and Tua interception, almost a full fade of this Dolphins passing offense tonight, which again, I love this. So, all right. So Sean, we've got to vote. We've got Tua Tagovailoa interception or Tyreek Hill under 5.5 receptions. Let's vote. All right, Koerner, we going with Tua interception or Tyreek Hill under 5.5 receptions? I'm going with Tua interception.
Tua.
We're both on Tua to throw an interception in this game against this Rams defense. So that'll be the first leg of this 3-leg same game parlay. So I've got a couple touchdown bets that we can vote on here, and we're going to have one on each side. I like Puka Nacua to score a touchdown tonight. He's off the injury report. He should see his usual 80% of snaps. I'm expecting 8 or more targets as well. Puka, and as well, between Puka and Cooper Kupp, they have nearly the same receiver metrics a lot. They're close to a 32% target share. Nacua has actually had better metrics versus zone defenses. And the Dolphins defense, they're 27th in defensive DVOA versus the pass. Expecting a pass-heavy script from this Rams offense, and I do expect Puka to get his first touchdown of the season. So that is the Rams selection. I'm going to be taking on the Dolphins side, though, looking at Jonnu Smith to score a touchdown. He's only got one this year, but he's starting to become a bit of a fixture in this offense. 27 targets over the last 4 games. 3 of those were red zone targets. And this Rams defense as well, they're not very good at defending the pass either. 26th in defensive DVOA and last in defensive DVOA against tight ends with 4 touchdowns allowed to the position. And Nick already mentioned, like Tyreek Hill, if he's iffy to play, I kind of like Jonnu to come through for us here for a touchdown. So Jonnu Smith for a touchdown or Puka Nacua for a touchdown. Nick, Sean, let's vote. All right, what are we pairing with Tua interception? We going with Puka touchdown or Jonnu touchdown? All right, Puka, Tua Puka. All right. I feel like we're on the island of Tua Puka here at this point. So, all right. So that's the second leg of the Action Island parlay. Puka Nacua, anytime touchdown. We're going to pair that with Tua Tagovailoa interception. Now, Sean, it is your time. What are your 2 bets that you are submitting for this Action Island parlay?
All right, so I'm not even messing with the Dolphins right now with the Tyreek uncertainty. So I got 2 Rams props for you guys. The first one is an official prop. I already wrote 5,000 words on a deep dive on how I arrived at this play, but it's Colby Parkinson under 16.5 receiving yards. Again, check out my article to see, why. But I guess the cliff notes would be last week, Davis Allen ended up out-snapping Parkinson last week. I noticed it really occurred after Parkinson had an illegal motion penalty. It was 2nd and goal, backed him up. I think McVay was just pissed at him and benched him outright at that point. I'm expecting his playing time to bounce back, but we have seen more of a 2 to 3-way tight end committee ever since their week 6 bye. So this has been a very concerning trend for Parkinson's playing time. Plus, the Rams are 4-4 on the season, but they've only played with the lead 20% of the time, which is the 3rd lowest rate of the league. They're 2.5-point favorites tonight, maybe more if Tyreek ends up sitting out. So I'm actually projecting them to play with the lead 42% of the time, which is double their season-long rate. So their passing volume should go down, and Parkinson's target rate actually goes way down when they play with the lead. And his target rate has taken a massive hit anytime both Puka and Kupp are in the lineup. So that's why I'm projecting his median closer to 14.5 here. Still like the under 16.5. And for my other prop, let's go Demarcus Robinson under 2.5 receptions. I mean, a lot of the same reasons I just gave for Parkinson's under apply for Robinson as well. Whenever Kupp and Puka have been on the field at the same time, he's only drawing a target 8% of the time, typically reserved for those downfield low percentage targets. So fading him in his receiving yards market is not the play here. I think he could, easily clear his 30.5 with just a couple of catches here. But I think the way to fade him would be taking his under 2.5 receptions.
All right. So Colby Parkinson under 16.5 receiving yards or Demarcus Robinson under 2.5 receptions. Nick, this one's going to be tough. Let's vote on this. All right, Nick, are we fading Parkinson or are we fading Robinson? I'm going to go with D-Rob.
I
Oh,
didn't
did you
get to
take
write up.
Parkinson? Oh,
Yeah,
Cole.
to
All
Kobe.
right.
I was gonna, I had my Yoshi drawing last time. I was gonna draw some Colby cheese or something, but I didn't have the time to do
Oh.
that.
All right. Well, Koerner, I hate to do this to you, man. You're going to have to decide now between
Wow.
these two picks, which one we're going to add as the third leg of the same game parlay.
Well, even though the prop has dropped a couple yards, I'm still sticking with Parkinson. Again, I spent all morning writing up this article. But I do think Robinson's going to be out there. His playing time is going to be unchanged. He's still a fixture in this offense. But again, there's concerns that Parkinson's playing time might not bounce back this week. So I just think there's more signal here for Parkinson's under. So let's stick with that one.
All right, so we're going to add Parkinson then as the third leg for the same game parlay. So let's recap now. The parlay for tonight's game is going to be Tua Tagovailoa interception, followed by Puka Nacua anytime touchdown with Colby Parkinson under on his receiving yards. You put those three together, that comes out to about plus 750 at Bet365. It almost seems like an island name, like Tukapua Kolbe, or something like that in the Mediterranean, and I'm not sure what's going on there. But yeah, so we are guiding tonight for the same game parlay. Let's recap this one more time. We've got Tua Tagovailoa interception, Puka Nacua anytime touchdown, and Colby Parkinson under on his receiving yards, and that parlay comes out to plus 750 at Bet365. So that is all for us. Thank you for watching Action Island for Dolphins Rams. On behalf of Nick Giffen, Sean Koerner, and myself, aloha and bon chance.